What's up, guys? Welcome back to Max Boneyard Builds. So, got the old man door going into the garage. Told you we had something new coming into the stable. Let's see what we got. Well, it may not be a Chevy, but it is a GM. We got a 2010 Cadillac CTS. This is not my vehicle. This vehicle was actually purchased by the city that I live in, and it's going to be a new to them detective car. Long story short, they were looking for cheap vehicles, and this one was for sale at a local car dealership because one of theirs got all shot up in a gunfight. So with the insurance money, they were just looking for transportation, basically. And I'll tell you what, finding a sedan nowadays, man, that is hard. Everything is crossovers, like everything. But this one, 2010, 90,000 miles. It's got the 3.6, and we're going to start turning this thing into a, oh, I don't know what you want to call it, suitable driver. So obviously the first thing, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but this thing is a fishbowl. Holy cow. I mean, you can see in every single window on this thing. Hi. But that's the first thing we're going to do here. In just about an hour or so, I'm dropping this off at Modified Auto Sound. They're in Eastgate Plaza, East Alton, Illinois. They are going to be getting rid of the fishbowl for us. We're going to be getting some tint all the way around on this, so that way everybody and their brother cannot look inside here and see what's going on. But I'm telling you what, 90,000 miles, this thing is nice. It is clean. It drives good. I mean, you can't beat it for a passenger car. I saw the original window sticker still in the glove box. $42,000 in 2010. Holy cow. 42,000 bucks in 2010 is what this one cost. It's got the pearly paint job. It's got the giant panoramic sunroof. It's got all the leathers. You know, it is a nice vehicle, but man, these windows, they gotta go. They gotta go. So that's what's hit the stable. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna jump on these headlights too. I want to do another quick video on that. Found some goopity goo that's supposed to help clear them things up, so we're gonna jump on that before I run it down to Modified, and I want to have Sean and his crew get rid of all these fishbowl windows. We got to darken this thing up a little bit. That is much better. No more fishbowl going on the old Cadillac. Modified Auto Sound, Eastgate Plaza, knocked it out of the park again. Nice and black. Did 20 all the way around, nothing crazy, you know. We didn't do no limo black or anything like that. But you do 20 all the way around, that's around where the factory is. That helped the appearance on this car so much better. So much better. So now that we got the windows smoked out, now we can start on the fun part. That's the lights. All right, as far as lights go, got a hold of SpeedTech lights. Boop, SpeedTech lights. Did a order through them. I've got 4 of their surface mounts here. I picked up a switch box. It's got a toggle on, and this is a monetary. And then we've got a dual head that's going to go in the front windshield along with the front surface mounts that we're going to put on the grill. And then we also got down here in the bottom, we got a forehead that's going to go all the way across the back glass. Then I also have a couple more surface mounts that are on their way that are going to go by the rear license plate. And then I was lucky enough to scavenge off of another old squad car. These are Wheeling Hideaways here. And these are still functioning properly, so we're going to be sticking those hopefully in the headlights, as long as there's enough room to get those through there. Here's one of those surface mounts I took out of the box. It's still got the plastic on it, but we're going to put those on the grill. And I think along with the 2-head visor plus 4 of these up front, then if we get those hideaways in, that'll definitely take care of the front. And then with that forehead going all the way across the back glass, along with 2 by the license plate. So we're gonna have the forehead going all the way across the back, not all the way, but right here across the back. And then we're gonna have 2 more of those pods, one sitting here, one sitting here, attached to the license plate. That'll really light up the back of this thing. And then on the front, I think how we're gonna go is we're going to have the double head sitting up here by the rear view mirror up in this location, and then we're going to add those surface mounts. We're going to add them to the grill here and here, and then maybe you know, here and here, or maybe we'll add them down on these corners here. You know, we kind of play with it a little bit, see how it looks. And then the hideaways with these headlights, I'm thinking if we put it down here on the bottom, that'll also reflect up through here, so it'll give us a little bit of side coverage too. We're not going to add a whole bunch of side lights to this thing. Basically, we're just wanting the lights, so if we pull up on a scene, or if we got to get through a little bit of traffic or something, this is definitely not a pursuit vehicle. It is not going to be doing any traffic enforcement, traffic stops, nothing like that. Just we just want some lights on it in case we need to pull up on a scene or something. It's got some lights, or if we need to block traffic just for 2 seconds or something, it's got enough lights on it that it'll be seen. So first things first, we got to hook up that switch so we can add power to the lights. All right, so some of you may be asking, why am I getting in the trunk? Yeah, I just washed it, if you can't tell. So why are we getting into the trunk? Well, that's because on these Cadillacs, it's got the rear-mounted battery, and your fuse box is back here. So that's where we're going to tap into power, and we're going to run the power feed for the switch box up to the cabin this way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of these. This is an antifuse is what they call them, I think it is. So it's going to replace one of these fuses. You're going to put said fuse back in here, but then it's going to add another fuse on this location running off of this wire. Okay, setting up these lights, we're not going to want to have the lights, the switch panel to have power all the time, because it is an illuminated switch panel, and then that's just going to run down the batteries. And you know, if the car's not on, the lights don't need to be on, because that's just going to kill the battery. So what you do is grab your multimeter, stick it on DC volts. This one here that I just looked at, this is for the sunroof, and obviously the sunroof is not going to have power on either side. Try and get out of the light here. The sunroof's not going to have power unless the key's on. So you check both sides of the fuse, and it doesn't have any juice. Oh, no wonder it's not working. I'm on the positive side. There we go. Check this side, check that side. As you see, 12.5 is what the battery's at. But if you check both sides of the fuse, it's got nothing. It's got 0.03. It's just got a little residual running through it. So that is the one we're going to tap into. So I've already got a wire ran up through the carpeting and everything up towards the cab. I've added the fuse on here. Now it's just as easy as pulling the fuse out of your box that you drop, never to be found again. Nah, just joking. We got it. And that's the wrong kind of fuse. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, take two. Got the correct one. Man, I'm telling you, they always fooling you. Anyways, you pull out your fuse that goes in here. It goes on the bottom. Like so. And then now you have an added circuit that comes off of the same tap. So now you have two fuses coming off of that same tap, which is going to run up to the front of the car to the switch box. All right, so now we're in the cab. This is the Speedtech light switch box I was talking about. Has toggle, and C is a monetary. This thing's kind of big, a little bigger than what I thought it was going to be whenever I ordered it, but as you can see, trying to mount this thing somewhere in here, it would just be big and bulky and kind of in the way. I thought about like down here or something, mounting it on the side, but I was like, man, that is just going to be completely obnoxious. However, I've already taken part of the console apart, which is super easy. All you got to do is there's a Starhead Torx that's on here, little bitty guy. Take that out. You can take your shift knob out. Then you have that lower trim there that just lifts up. You've got a little bit of wood grain here on either side that pops up. Then you have this big guy that comes all the way across through here. And there's a couple Phillips, right chow and right chow, which tie in right there and right there. Take those out, that comes out of the way, and now you've got a pretty good access to all of your insides of your console. There's a few Phillips here, here, and here, which release this tray. Now that I got in here and started looking at it, I probably could have tied in to the power for this cigarette plug here, or 12-volt plug, whatever you want to call it. I could have tapped in there, but I've already ran that wire that you see there from the trunk with that fuse. We're just going to leave that as is. That way I know it's fuse protected on its own circuit. But what I did see is whenever this is sitting down inside this cubby, like so, like that, this fits in here like it was made for it. So I think what I'm going to do, and then when you're sitting in the cab and you've got your armrest down like so, I mean, flip it up, hit your lights, get done, put it back down, and it is completely gone out of the cabin. And you know, like I said, without being a traffic car or something crazy, and if you want to just take the added 2 seconds to lift this up, so that way it's completely concealed, and that way it's not sitting somewhere just completely obnoxious in the cab, you know. It's going to be tucked away inside here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy out, and I'm going to tap a hole here inside so all the wiring can come out. And then once I have all the wiring out, I'll start running the wiring to ground, and attaching the power supply, and I'll run a few more wires to the front, and I'll run another wire to the back, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with those. All right, now that we've got everything spliced together, that 12-volt line that came through the fuse box, and we added a ground, we got the key on. Now, as you can see, you got power, and then this one is a monetary. It's like if you hook up like an air horn or something, you know, and then these will stay on. But with that being on a fused circuit, if I kill the key, well, that's not right. This is really weird. I got the key out, everything off, but yet I'm still getting 12 volts on literally everything in here. Did you see that? It looks like everything just died. Let's go back to that one. Nope, still got it there. Still got it there. Still got it there. I wonder if this like body control module's got to like time itself out or something, because everything still has juice and there's no key in this thing at all. I haven't had a dead battery in this thing. But everything, and I mean, I'm checking, you know, rear defrost and, you know, stuff like radio. Radio should be dead. Like the radio is off, the key is out of the ignition. But I'm still getting 12 at it. Even on both sides of the fuse. It's really weird. We'll see if this times out or something. Okay, we've got the wire running through the firewall that goes back to the switch. Man, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat on that. Find a grommet that's already available or whatever you need to run that through. And this is going to be our trigger wire. Okay, this does not run directly to the lights. We're going to add a relay. I'm probably going to, I don't know, add it in under here or something, you know, because you're going to want your relay to run all your power. So we're just going to grab the 12 volt from here, add the relay onto here, and that relay is going to activate the 12 volts that run through, just like we did on the fuel pumps and anything else. If you ever have any questions about relays, there's tons of diagrams and stuff up there. If I think about it, I'll throw up a diagram here just to show how the relay works. So I've already undone a few of the plastic grommets that go in around here that lift up this top shroud. Now the top shroud's out of the way to get the rest of the bumper off to access the headlights and be able to put the grill lights in. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 grommets there, and if memory serves me right, I think there's 1, 2 or so to get this fender well, and then there's a bolt right here. After we get this bolt loosened up and these grommets popped loose, this whole shroud, or bumper cover rather, should fall forward, giving us access to the headlights and being able to put the lights in the grill. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine. These brackets do need to come off too. There's a 10 milli there and a 10 milli there. But now, as you can see, we've got access to the headlights, so we can get those out to work on those hideaways, and then here and here. And then now we have access to the grill to where we can attach the grill lights here and start running the wires up to attach over here to the relay. Okay, workbench is so dirty that can't even use my workbench right now. But I've got the headlight out of CTS. I've got the high beam bulb just kind of dangling here. So that way, whenever I go to drill my hole, my original plan of sticking it down at the very bottom is not going to happen. There's too many layers and there's not enough room to get the appropriate bit, the hole saw bit that you need to put these hideaways in. However, it looks like I am going to be able to put it on this side right in here instead of down at the bottom, which should work out just fine. Looks like I may have to go through 2 layers, which is okay as well. And the number one thing is you need to do 2 things when you drill these holes. Number 1, get yourself some glass cleaner or something, spritz it down. What that's going to do is help break that static tension that's on this headlight, so that way all your shavings don't get sucked down inside your headlight and look crappy. And number 2, whenever you make your hole, have your shop vac on hand, stick it in the nearest hole. That way it's vacuuming out any of the debris as you make your hole. Just like that, we've got our hideaway hole, and we still have plastic inside there. Great. All right, still got to button up a few things, but we got the grill lights on there. We got the hideaways installed. They're tucked in. It's looking pretty good. And we'll get a little sneak peek.
Hey, Dad.
Yes, honey. Looking pretty good.
Can I make a gift for someone for Christmas Eve? Because I already did one, but I'd make another one. She needs my...
Alright guys, finishing up some of the rear wiring. This is what I'm talking about with running a relay. This is the trigger wire right here that's coming from that switch box, goes all the way up to the cab. That is not running the lights. What is running the lights is that relay right there. So I've got a hot side power coming down to that relay. As soon as this trigger wire opens that, or closes that relay, I guess it is, and makes that connection, this hot wire is now getting cycled up and running back and powering up the lights. So that way you're not running all of your amperage and everything through the switch. It's all running through the relay, which is much more stout and can handle it. You'll notice these little guys right there. Don't worry about those little guys. Like I said earlier, the lights for the license plate up here, the little pods, those aren't in yet. Those should be in a couple days. So what I did was I left myself a ground and a power off of the relay, just kind of dangling. I got them taped up and that, so whenever those come in, I don't have to try and pull the relay back out, get it all back out of its little cubby hole there. I can just tap into those wires, and run the license plate lights that are going to run out of here, come back down through the factory conduit and stuff, tie into there. So, all right, I want to get this thing buttoned up and stuff, get it pulled out of the garage. Let's see what this thing looks like. I think that gets the point across. Let's pull it out. Check out the back. There we go. There's the forehead that's in the back glass. Once I get those other two pods by the license plate, I think that'll really tie the back end together. Absolutely. I think that'll work. So there we go. Something a little different for the Boneyard Garage here on this episode. Obviously, as we keep tinkering on this thing, keep adding more things to it, I'll let you guys know. But I'm telling you, it's pretty mean. I don't know. Looks pretty slick. Thanks, guys, for stopping by. Max Boneyard Builds, and I'll see you guys next time.